do I believe that real estate agents will ever have a respectable reputation in the marketplace? Because when I got into real estate in 1988, 89, thereabouts, I've got to tell you, real estate agents weren't respected then. And then when you move on another 40 years, you'd say not much has changed. So I sat there thinking to myself, could you actually change the reputation of agents, or are we just dodgy? So what I thought to myself is, what are the reasons why real estate agents don't have a good reputation? Let me go through them. Number one is that it's an unequal experience, right? So if I want to go buy, if you hear me out, if I want to go buy like a phone from the Apple shop, I mean, I know what the experience is going to be like, right? If I were to, go off and book some travel, I know what needs to be done. But with real estate, there is just no uniform way. There's a lot of people that say, oh, how do I buy that property? Auction, for sale. Oh, is it by negotiation? How do you put an offer in? Some people actually take deposits. Some people take properties off the market. The bottom line is there is no one way. There's a lot of unequal experiences, and I've got to say to you that people have a bad reputation in real estate because of 5% of the bad apples give the other 95% a bad name. The second thing I'm going to tell you is the second reason why real estate agents are going to struggle is that the perception and reality are two different things. I've got to tell you, it's glitz versus grind. That's what it is. It's glitz versus wine. It's perception versus reality, right? The glitz is nice cars. The glitz is Mercedes-Benz, Maseratis, Range Rovers, the great reels on Instagram, nice watches, beautiful suits, right? That's the glitz. That's the perception. But let me tell you, that perception is one of the reasons that people in real estate have a bad name. The real reality is that it's a grind. It's not the things that I just said. The real reality is that, I got to tell you, I didn't have a Saturday night for around 20 years of my life. And the reason why is when I was listing and selling real estate, I used to do my callbacks on a Saturday afternoon. Then I used to do my vendor callbacks on a Saturday afternoon. Then I used to actually get stuck into getting my reports done. So the truth is, like, my Saturday nights landed at home at around 8:30, and all I did is watch the second half of the second NRL game. That was my life in real estate, right? In addition to that, the grind is a lot of rejection. You don't see that. The grind is that you got a lot of people that actually don't answer their calls when you're actually prospecting or are actually telling you to F off. The real grind in real estate is that you're going home about 2 to 3 hours later than what the average person does on a weeknight in Australia. The real grind is that your phone rings up at all hours. The real grind is that, man, you got stress, you got anxiety, you have deals that fall through, you get your first cousin that gives their property not to you to sell but to another agent, so you get personalised rejection happening. You have so many things. And I've got to tell you, I've got to say to you that the perception and the reality are two different things. So it's more about grind than about glitz, I've got to tell you. The third reason why I think real estate people are going to struggle to actually get a good name in our industry is that we are involved in the pressure cooker time of people's lives. So what actually happens is people buying and selling real estate, particularly in the auction front where there's a lot of emotions condensed in a short period of time. There's fear, there's ego, there's greed, and I've got to tell you, with all those emotions, and particularly fear, there's always someone that wants to blame someone, and the real estate people are the perfect people to blame because they've always had the perception. They've always had the perception that they've done the wrong thing. However, the real reason why I think real estate agents are going to find it difficult to get rid of that label of being one of the lowest reputational occupations in Australia, or actually the world, is that there's a trust gap. There is a trust gap. And the trust gap largely is caused by the real estate agents themselves. Largely is caused by the real estate agents themselves. So if you think about it, when a real estate agent goes to a door of a house and the door opens, that real estate agent is already starting with a negative. Whereas if it was a doctor that was going on the door, they're starting with a significant positive. If it was a tradesperson knocking at the door, they would be at a significantly higher level than a real estate agent. So I suppose what I'm saying is the small cohort of real estate people that actually have got a good reputation are actually extraordinary people, because they've had to defy the baggage, the stigma that comes with our profession. So I'm going to finish off on this point. It's not easy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sticking up for all agents, but I also have to take into account that we have one fundamental issue that we live with in real estate, and that is that nearly every owner that wants to put their home on the market is wanting more money than what their home is worth. So real estate agents have to actually be spending their time not only trying to sell the property, but at the same time being a school teacher in many ways to that vendor, and trying to explain to them that what they're hoping to get and what they will get might not be the same number. In fact, I think RP data says that more than 75% of vendors that list their property will discount their property to be sold. You can see that in the data set.